Well, good afternoon. I think we've gotten past the noon hour. We've had a nice lunch and a nice facility, and it's been great hearing from the other cities. There's a common theme, I think, between all four cities, and that is that redevelopment, development, residential diversity, all of those things are similar in all of our cities. I assume it's the same in other cities as well. I see Mayor Hemke is here from New Hope. I have two council members here I'd like to introduce, Councilmember Ryan and Councilmember Graves. And my right-hand man is here, and I don't know exactly where he's sitting, but it's our city administrator, Kurt Bogany. Who has done excellent work for us, by the way. He's the individual that hired in Gary Idle. Some of you may know him, may not know him. He has done redevelopment for years and years. Kurt hired him in for 6 months so he could meet his PERA, retirement responsibilities, so he could retire. And Gary now has retired as of about December 20th or so. And he was with the City of Brooklyn Center for 10 years. So he loved what he was doing, often said that, and he said it was great to be able to make things happen, to make change happen. So, in March of 2015, the City Council developed a 2016-28 strategic plan. That plan identified various planning elements, including mission statements, SWOT analysis, 6 strategic priorities, key outcome indicators, and action initiatives, things that Brooklyn Center had not had in the past. And those 6 strategic priorities are resident economic stability, targeted redevelopment, enhanced community image, inclusive community engagement, strengthened and empowered youth, and key infrastructure investments. As mentioned before, the strategic city plan included a mission statement, a value statement, SWOT analysis, strategic priorities. Originally, the original plan in 2016 and 2018 did not include a vision statement. However, in 2017, the city did adopt a vision statement to guide all efforts within the city. And that vision statement describes an aspiration desired by future state of the community, or at its best where the community wants to be in the future. I share with you these words. That is the city's new vision statement, and it goes like this. We envision Brooklyn Center as a thriving, diverse community with a range of housing, business, cultural, and recreational offerings. It is a safe and inclusive place that people of all ages love to call home, and visitors enjoy due to its convenient location and commitment to a healthy environment. Not as short and sweet and catchy as a lot of other cities are, but it does encompass what we're trying to do. So, earlier, I think you had seen and can see our new city logo at the bottom. That's new this year. I can emphasize with Brooklyn Park and Mayor Lundy in the number of individuals I've talked to about the new logo. And but it's there, it's gone up, and people are pleased with it, and it seems to be working well for us. Resident economic stability. We're looking in Brooklyn Center to bring in jobs, to build and create things that will increase the local economy for our citizens, for our residents, and for our visitors who come to Brooklyn Center. It's a hard task. It means a lot of redevelopment and bringing in jobs where we can. Targeted redevelopment. Redeveloping properties is one of the highest values and best use will accomplish our goals regarding housing, job creation, and growth of the city's tax base. We will appropriately prepare sites, and provide the necessary supporting infrastructure investments to guide redevelopment publicly and privately owned properties. Some of those that are coming online is the sanctuary at Brooklyn Center, 6121 Boulevard, Brooklyn Boulevard. It opens in the spring of 2018. It's a 4-story, 158-unit senior assisted living facility with a 1-story wing addition. 130 units are dedicated for general assisted living apartments, with the remaining reserved for 28 memory support studios. Senior housing in Brooklyn Center, I have been on the planning and zoning for 12 years. I've been the mayor for 12 years. And for 24 years, we've talked about senior housing, and now we're finally getting some. So. Crescent Cove Respite and Hospice Home for Kids. It opened in November of 2017. It's one of 3 in the nation, and it's a hospice for young children who need to be helped through the end of life. And it's not an adult facility, but geared towards children. So, one of the biggest things that's coming is Top Golf. Some of you may have heard of Top Golf. And it'll be opening in the late summer, early fall of 2018. It's a 65,000 square foot, 3-level golfing and entertainment facility with 102 hitting bays and a 220-yard driving range. I don't golf, so somebody else probably knows what all that means. It'll have a 50-table restaurant and lounge, a 3,000 square foot roof terrace, and 3,000 square foot event area. I'm a little ahead, but I want to talk about Bank of America yet. We have a new bank coming in to where Brookdale used to be. It's at the crossings. And Brookdale and that property, what used to be Brookdale anyway, has enjoyed a very expansive redevelopment and is doing very well with the businesses that are coming into that area. Last but not least, I will mention Luther Mazda Mitsubishi dealership. It's anticipated to start construction in 2018. It's relocating an existing Luther Mazda Mitsubishi dealership from Brooklyn Boulevard to 68th Avenue North. Construction of a new 35,000 square foot dealership next to the existing Luther Chevrolet and Buick GMC dealerships will be built for them. I often talk to them. They were one of the first, and now their biggest taxpayer in Brooklyn Center, but their first business that they brought in has grown now to 7 or 8. And I asked our city manager if we can find land somewhere else so they can move more dealerships in. And they seem to be amenable to that, so we'll try hard. Enhanced community image. You can see on the bottom here we have a new logo. We're also doing things like we've hired a new communications expert. We've hired a couple of those. We've also hired a new director for development and diversity. And we're moving into a new phase in Brooklyn Center where we're looking more at the people rather than the nuts and bolts and getting redevelopment done. Redevelopment was very important over the last 10 or 12 years. We had way too many underutilized land properties, but we've succeeded in at least making a dent in a lot of those. Inclusive community engagement. We, in the summer, we hold meetings in our parks. We rotate between the 16 that we have, and we do 4 of those, and we pick 4 different parks every year. National Night Out we have. And pictured here is some of the new community dialogues we're having with citizens and meeting to discuss issues in Brooklyn Center and to have them provide input to the city council on where they'd like to see their city go. We held 3 of them last year. There are 2 more coming up, and there will be more through the summer that will be held, not at City Hall, but at different locations across the city, say a church or business or something on that order, so that it's not that imposing Big Brother type feeling to people who are attending. Am I close, Dave? Strengthen and empowered youth. Brooklyn Center had 19 interns as well last year, and BrookLink is a cooperative agreement between the cities of Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. Mayor Lundy mentioned it earlier as being BrookLink. It's an offshoot or a spin-off from the Brooklyn Bridge Alliance for Youth, and that was something we put together, both cities, Hennepin County, the schools, the colleges, and others, to look at youth in the area and what we can do to better train and better make better lives for our youth as they go forward to adults. We have a youth council now that's looking at tobacco policy, and I have to tell you, there's a lot of younger individuals there. My hair's gray, theirs is not, but they have good ideas, and they try really hard to implement those ideas, and they're very bright, very well-schooled, and very knowledgeable. So they're looking at that policy right now to make a recommendation to the City Council. Key infrastructure investments. We now have a fully funded capital improvement plan, something the city had been trying for years to put into place. Well, let me say that differently. Something the city had for years, but couldn't put it in place because we didn't have any funding to do any of the projects. So when we first started out, we identified something like $80 or $100 million of just general maintenance within the city that needed to be done to buildings and infrastructure and all of those things. So now we have converted enough of our revenue streams to have a revenue stream to be able to work on projects on an annual basis. I'm getting the hook, so I'm going to look ahead quick. Oh, I'm almost done. Key infrastructure investments. Oh, actually, I am done. So I want to say in completing that it's been a pleasure to be here today. I thank the organization who has invited me again. I've been to a number of these. I have to admit, the very first one, when I was first elected in 2007, I made Kurt go to and do the State of the Cities, and he did. It was good. It was great. So, but I was brand new and afraid of all you people that are here in the room. So I want to thank you for inviting me today. Thank you for your time and your attention, and drive safely on the way home. Thank you.
If you want to go ahead and take a seat there, we'll bring the other mayors up.